And I always tell everybody, there's no such thing as a bad dream. The only difference between your dream and somebody else's dream is they execute it. And
yeah, that's real.
And you don't. And a lot of people, they don't see a full cycle of a mission. Some start, some go halfway, some give up. They don't really complete the whole cycle. And when you complete the whole cycle, your next venture or your next opportunity, you understand patience for it. Whereas one person just starts a lot of things that don't finish. So I always tell people, you got to complete one cycle, no matter how big or small it is, so you can see the complete, like rotation of it.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Rubino.
And this DJ in the building.
And you listening to the UpNUp Podcast.
Yeah.
Wait, what are we doing?
I don't know, just listen.
Yes. Welcome.
What it do?
Ladies and gentlemen, you're tuning to the UpNUp Podcast on the UpNUp Network. I'm your host, Rubino.
And I'm DJ man.
What's up, man? You got some energy today, bro.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. It's the weekend.
Yeah.
Get it in.
It's the end of the weekend.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Thank God. It's been busy, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the graduates, though.
Yep.
It's
Shout out to
grad
everybody.
weekend, man. So shout out to all of them. Yes, man. If this is your first time tuning in, as I stated, this is the UpNUp Podcast. This is the podcast where we're focused on cultivating culture, right? We do that by providing amazing stories of individuals, groups, movements, right?
Yes, sir.
Hustlers, shakers, right? They're kicking down doors, right? Breaking down walls.
Yep.
I can keep going, man. I got metaphors for days.
Yeah,
man. But ultimately, these are individuals who are taking up space in various different industries, and making a way not only for those who are currently here, but those coming from behind, right? The next generation.
Yep.
We got to shout out the family members, right? The consistent supporters, viewers, listeners, not only of the UpNUp Podcast, but the UpNUp platform as a whole. Shout out to y'all, man. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you. And we're going to keep rocking, right? And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the family, right?
Yes, sir.
Right? How you feeling, man?
I'm good, bro. Nice jacket, bro.
Thank you.
By the way.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
I had to get fresh for this one. Hey, you know what I'm saying? This is a heavy one. And for those, if this is your first time tuning in, just to kind of give some insight, we're really focused on storytelling here, right? That's our MO, and talking about the journeys, and we want to bring something that's going to inspire and uplift all of us, right? And today's guest, I would say someone who I would describe as a true marathon runner, but someone whose demonstration is nothing short of motivating, and it seems like a lot of it is demonstration over presentation, right? I like that. I like to describe it that way. He's definitely a true culture cultivator who's keeping everything he's doing on the up and up, right?
Yes, sir.
A little bit of insight on the brother and the work he's been doing currently. He's the owner and operator of fast-growing and amazing barbershop, hairstyling, and grooming service known as Day Makers. And this is someone who has years and years and years which has been put into mastering his craft, but he's also been able to grow as an entrepreneur in many different areas as well as the creative space. In 2020, he launched his creative content platform and brand known as Whips N Cutz. And like I said, man, his demonstration is very inspiring. Obviously, we've been able to see it up close to a degree, but I really think this is someone who young entrepreneurs can study and learn from. And we're excited. We're honored to have him here in the building today, right? Long overdue, right? Let's just get straight to him. And our guest is none other than the one for his exceptional cuts, but not to be mistaken with those who take shortcuts.
All right.
Our guest, you like that one, right? Our guest is none other than Fasil Eshete. Can we get a round of applause, man?
Yeah.
Give it up, man.
Thank you.
How you doing, brother?
Man, I can't complain, man. I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, man. It's a pleasure to
sir.
have you, bro.
Yeah.
How's your day going, man?
It's good, man. A lot of graduations. Celebrating people's lives this weekend. All the UpNUp grads and all the people that graduated from their master's program. It's dope to see them succeed.
Yeah.
I've seen them grow from middle school to college.
Yeah, it's inspiring. Yeah. It's inspiring, man. Well, man, speaking of growth, we always start the show with the quote of the day, right?
Yes,
to
sir.
To help the show grow and the episode grow. And got the quote. What's up, man? What you got?
All right, man. The quote of the day is success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out.
Who's that quote by?
Robert Collier. He's like an author, writer.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit before the show,
Exactly,
too.
that's why.
Yeah, no, definitely. My mentality is like lay a brick a day, man. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, definitely, man. Well, now, Fasil, obviously, you know, what we do up here is talk about the journeys that people have gone through to get to where they're at.
Yeah.
But before we dive into the journey, I did kind of want to tap in, you know, you being a barber and really, really great one at that. I did kind of want to get your perspective in terms of how you describe like the name and brand Daymakers and what it represents, not only for you, but I guess your clients and maybe those who may be interested in learning more about it. Like, how would you describe it? You could talk to the mic too.
Well, the name Daymaker came up. I realized that in this industry, it's more than just haircuts. You know, people are fixed on giving the best haircuts, but you don't really remember the haircuts. You remember how you felt when you left. You know, that's what brings you back, and that's what gives you that retention. You know, that repeat customer. And people would come in for graduations, weddings, funerals, dates, or, you know, they're kind of down. They want to, you know, pick themselves up, or and they were always like, you made my day. You know, you made my day. Oh, my God, you saved my day. And that's just something that kept repeating, you know. And then I was like, I'm making a lot of days out here, you know. And we just played with the words a little bit, and then, boom, Daymaker happened, you know. And it was a great marketing strategy because it didn't, like, you know, really focus on haircuts. Because, you know, again, if I'm remembered just for haircuts, you know, I've done a disservice because there's so many umbrellas. I mean, that's under this, you know, industry. You know, you're a counselor, you're a big brother, you're, you know, a friend. You know, it's just everybody comes to you for their own little reasons, but you're more than just, you know, cutting hair.
Yeah,
you know?
No, that's so real. I'm glad you touched on it. I'm glad you broke it down that way because I brought that up because I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions from the outside looking in on a lot of different industries, and barbering being one of them, because y'all are super important, bro, and especially in the males' lives.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know, for a lot of reasons though, not just for the aesthetic, right? But yeah, man, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, for sure, man. All right, man, let's get into the upbringing. What was it like growing up? Where you from? You know?
Yeah, I grew up, you know, I'm from Seattle, specifically South Seattle. Grew up in the Hollies, grew up in the Vistas. You know, the 98118 zip code is very diverse. You know, I've crossed paths with you name it. You know, and just being in this industry, I've brushed along with the best of them. You know, and you know, man, just a little African kid from the South End, you know, and just I'm here today.
Yeah, when you look back on kind of your upbringing, because like it could seem like you're collectively experiencing your upbringing with a lot of people who are close to you, but like, can you look back and be like, damn, okay, I could see how that may have developed me maybe differently than maybe other people. Are there things that you can look back on?
Yeah, all the hardships, you know. All the bumps in the road, they make you who you are. You know, loss of a parent, barely graduating high school, you know, losing some friends. Like, you know, they all build you. You know, it's like I don't look at negative things as losses. You know, I look at them as lessons. You know, like each ding prepares you for your like right now. You know, so some of the things I wanted in my life, I wanted them like 10 years ago, but I would have tricked it off or messed it up. So I'm grateful that I had to go through those lessons to appreciate and really happy for what I got right now.
Yeah, no, that's so real, bro. I was talking to someone about this where, you know, you always hear people talk about like, yo, I'm built for this, you know, like you hear that a lot, but I always look at it like, nah, you built yourself for it, right? Because a lot of times you got to realize like we're constantly building ourselves, right? And I'm glad you touched on that because I bring that up because I think reflection is just super key, man. Like,
yeah, I mean, even like within my group, like when we sit with WNC and we talk about certain things and we hit roadblocks, you know, we want to sit there and complain or find, you know, why us, you know. But I always tell the group like, why not us? You know, like if we go through certain things, why not us? You know, like as much as we want the glitz and the glamour, we gonna have to take these L's too. So why not us?
Yeah,
you know,
I like that.
Nah, for real, bro. So, what was like some of your early interests? Like, what were you interested in, like growing up, and everything like that?
Early interests would be, you know, sports. Clearly.
You hooping?
Man, I would love to say I'm good at hoop, but I've been sitting on the bench for a while. I love football growing up. I love contact, so I play football a little bit. But just just the whole sports is the camaraderie around sports.
Yeah.
And I just got a competitive nature, and also traveling. As me and Ern, we took some trips back in the day when we was young. So trips. Yeah, I'm a big foodie guy too. I like to eat. That's pretty much it.
I'm curious though, like I feel like everybody growing up like may have had their like taste of like the entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm curious, like, did you always have the entrepreneurial spirit growing up, or were you more so looking to find a craft, right? Like, which one came first for you?
For me, it was the craft. The entrepreneurial spirit, it kind of like, I always tell people when you go into one lane, other doors open, but you have to put yourself in position for that to, come to fruition, you know. So for me in the beginning, I just wanted to figure out how to cut hair. I want to master this. That was all that was on my mind.
Gotcha.
And then once I got that part down, you start to, especially with the help of social media, they put a lot of things in your face. They plant seeds, over time. You just be like, maybe I could do that. You take a little leap, and then you're like, wow.
Yeah.
It's not as hard as I thought it was.
Yeah. No, definitely. I'm just always curious, like, especially like you getting started in barbering and cutting hair. It's like, sometimes people just want the quick come up, and then some people see it as like, yo, I'm really good at this. I want to get good at the craft, and then eventually they'll realize their worth. Like, oh shit, I can really make money off this, right? You know what I mean? So
it took a crowd for me to get to this position because I growing up, I wasn't like, oh, I'm finna be a barber.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That was the back end thing, You don't look at barbering as like the go-to thing. It's referred as like the side hustle or something you do on the side. It's never been like this is the game plan, It took it like I had a friend named Yiddy. He always be like, you should go to school for this. You should go to school for this. And I just be like, yeah, what? When a close friend tells you something, you don't. You don't really listen to him. You kind of discourage it, like, bro, you're just
saying it because it's me.
And then we had another friend that pulled up, my guy Lorenzo. We were just making fun of each other, laughing all day. And then finally he was like, I don't know why you don't go to school for this. You do a whole full-time job and then come back and cut hair. Yeah. You don't enjoy your weekends. You're usually getting people to get ready to go. He said, you might as well go to school for it and get paid. He was more the entrepreneur person in our group. Got you. So he got the bigger picture, and I was just like, it's everything Giddy was saying, but hearing Zoe say it was kind of like.
Same message, different messenger,
and I was like, you know what, you're right.
Yeah,
I should go to school for this. Yiddy, hot. He's like,
I've been saying this. That was my idea, bro. Give me the credit. Well, they both get credit.
Yeah, so it's it's more than them too. There was other people in there, but I think Zoe was like the straw that broke the camel's back. It was just like, all right, now I
love that.
Let me do this.
Yeah. No, that's dope, bro.
So what made you like in the beginning take it seriously and like? Cause I remember you was cutting at the house.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, it wasn't random, but I was like, oh shit, Fasil cuts hair now. You know what I'm saying? So like, what gave you the push to really take it serious?
I mean, so I had clippers in high school. I was lining people up. That's all I could do is line people up. I was like in between guy. I moved down to Atlanta to go to college, and I think isolation breeds skill sets. Or it lets you focus on certain things. You know? I feel like when there's a crowd or a group of people, you really can't hone in or focus. They distract you from that solitude that you need. And while I was down there, I bought some clippers and I just played with them. Nothing too crazy. In between, I started cutting all the dorm mates and all that. And then over time, it just got better and better. And then I was just like, ooh, I could really, I think I could do some damage here. It's just. I never really for sure put down clippers. I've had them since high school all the way until now. Like I've always played with them. And then these last, like 2015, after I graduated from cosmetology school, I kind of stepped it up. It was an everyday thing.
Okay.
And then it took me about 6 months to like find my situation, and then from there, it's like you never really, like, I hear barbers say they hit mastery level. I don't think no barber really hits mastery level. I think they just consistently get better, you know. And I think the moment you stop learning, I think that's when you retire. Because even now, every like 6 months, I'll learn something, whether it be I speed up or a new tool, or there's so much to learn in this industry. Like, you can't master this. Like, you can't, you know, it's just your time to leave, but it's not, you can't master it, because as soon as you get the skill set to like the craft, now there's a business side. Once you learn the business side, now there's like, there's just so many things, you know, like the networking side. Like, you like, and every client that I have is like a teacher, you know, whether it be they do crypto, they do real estate, they do, like, once you get past the haircut phase and you got to prove you're good as a barber, you get somebody for 30 minutes to give you game. You know, if you allow it, you know.
You're creating certain environments.
I always tell people I'm going to class every day. Somebody's teaching me something every day.
Yeah, your perspective is amazing to have. And I'm glad you touched on that, because for up-and-coming barbers, right, those who may want to get into the industry, because I think maybe at the time you started, like you said, it wasn't foreseen as like something you can do as a career. But I think now with social media, the images are being out there. People are able to see that it's a real thing. For the up-and-coming barbers, like, do you have tips for how they can kind of grow and scale, even though they're just kind of starting out? Maybe they're cutting at the house right now, right? But like, how do you feel that would work for them?
So when new barbers start, I tell them it's a high turnover rate, because you just got to outlast the next person, you know, because people quit on this when it doesn't pan out the way they want it. Like, people think I'm an overnight success or I'm a COVID birth barber, you know, like, that's not what it was. Like, you know, I've been cutting since high school, you know. In the beginning, your friends and family ain't your clientele, you know. So when new barbers come out, they put the pressure on their friends and family, like, yo, let me cut you, you know. And it's like, yeah, but hair is not a joke. You know, it's like, for the next 2 weeks, you are responsible for this guy's hair, you know. So it's like, in the beginning, you work on your craft. Whoever allows you or, you know, blesses you to, you know, let them practice on them. Like, I've had friends, like, I got a homie named Polly. I done messed up his hair sometimes. We sit back and just look at his cut like, whew.
That's like an early investor.
You know, we know we gonna buzz you today, you know. But, you know, he's good. And, like, people like that you want to remember in this industry. Like, you know, I give him lifetime free haircuts. You know, it's like, whenever he wants it, he's good. He never takes them, but, you know, it's like he's good for it, you know. So, you know, I had one of my first few clients were I had a homie named Ellis, a good friend of mine to this day. You know, I started him on my porch in my apartment, you know, like cutting him up. And then I had another guy named Daniel. He was a little brother of one of my homies, BC. I think I put like a cool 300 hours on his head, you know, like just learning. You know, he didn't really care as long as it was wavy, you know, like so, you know, I was just blessed to have a network or a group of friends that were, you know,
believed in you,
you know, just like, you know, like, do it on me, I don't care, you know, like, and you just got to be humble. Like, when you start off, you're not gonna get a lot of opportunities, but when you do take your time, you know, be very conscious of what you're doing as far as your tools. And, you know, now you got YouTube and all this to teach you how to cut. When I was doing it, it was just like, we gonna try to figure this out. You know, we work with the guards, we try to flick, we try to make the best what we could do. But now it's like social media's out there. You could go on Instagram and they'll give you a tutorial on how to do it. It took me 5 years to learn how to do a taper.
That's crazy.
I could learn to taper in the afternoon right now, watching videos in IG. You know,
it's truly a craft, man. It's truly like it's an art form. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes people just lose sight of that. They just think it's just, you know, obviously a business, but it's like, bro, there's art to it too. That's dope.
I know you touched on it earlier too, but what was the experience of cosmetology school?
Man, it's crazy how I got into cosmetology school, because I wasn't like, yo, I want to do perm rods and, you know, take care of women. Like, that wasn't my process behind it. Originally it was, there's no barber schools in the city. There's none in Seattle. There's none in the next, like, cities over. Like, the only barber that I was aware of was, like, Tacoma or Federal Way. I was like, it's not realistic for me to go out there every day in the morning. I was like, so I started looking at other options. I went to a school called Evergreen. beauty college, and they were providing. I think at one point they were providing barbering, And so I went over there to just shoot my shot to see if they still had that program, and they were like, "Yo, we don't offer barbering no more at this campus. We just do cosmetology." And I was kind of hurt, but I was just like, "Man, I'm not trying to drive all the way." When I sat and I thought about it, I was like, "Why not do the cosmetology route? Because you learn the whole game.
Yeah,
hair.
exactly.
You learn how to manipulate hair, how to control hair, chemicals. Like, there's a lot of hair science that I learned just going to that school. Even professionalism. It's just like how to sell products and stuff like that.
Yep.
I think, it was the best decision for me because, I ended up opening a salon because of it.
Yeah, it made you more well-rounded in terms of your perspective on the industry too.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. And again, it might not be for everybody, but it's good to hear that someone like you has that balance, and what it's done for you. Now, you mentioned opening up the salon, opening up your own, right?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you obviously were cutting in other shops, right?
Yep.
And this is probably a similar role right now, maybe for some barbers who are currently in that role. But for you, like, when did you know, or when did you feel it was time to step out on your own? Like, how does a barber know when it's time to step out on their own, if that's something they wanted to do? Like, for you, what was that like?
So I got blessed. Usually when barbers go out and start their career, they get into a barbershop where there's like 17 other barbers. It's like a meat market. It's hard to find your own voice. It's like, I think it's a blessing and a curse because with 17 other barbers, you learn faster because you get to go and follow all 17 and you could pick up a little bit from everybody. But it also drowns you out because it puts you in this market of survival of the fittest. It's like you can't create your own style, your own voice, So I got blessed. I had a friend of mine, Kevin Loyal. I used to cut him up in the garage. I cut a lot of homies in the garage.
Shout out to the garage, man.
Shout
I
out
love
the
a lot of
garage,
barbers.
bro.
The garage works.
Be on sticks, everything.
I done did my bid in the garage.
Shout out the garage.
So we was in there. It got to the point where, word got around and it was just a lot of traffic. And I was just like, I was tired of hearing moms, like, hey, there's too many people here, So I was just like, man, you're right. She was like, everybody knows where you live. And she wasn't mad at the hair hustle, but she was just, it gets annoying after a while. I don't blame her. There's always a group of men at the house, So I was like, man, I was telling Kev was my last garage client. And I told him, hey, this is the last cut. I think I'm done cutting. I can't do this. And he was like, nah, we're gonna have to find a solution. So he introduced me to OG dude named Frank Taylor. He's a big barber in the CD. He's put on, and when Kev was like, "Yo, like it in there. It's cool." He knows my vibe. I don't like the big crowds.
Yeah.
He was like, "Man, there's 2 OG barbers in there. It's chill, it's laid back. He's religious. Man, he's on his professionalism. I think you'll like it in there." And I was like, you know what? I'll go see. I had a meeting with him. He said, pull up on me. It was like a Monday. He was like 10 a.m. pull up. I pulled up on him. I came extra early. Just good face forward, and he put me on. Frank, like, I give a lot of credit to Frank because the way he did it was, he's a man of his word. He didn't pull out no contracts. He didn't bind me to a 2-year contract or have me in a crazy like payment plan or booth rent.
And is that normally what happens when you go and work at a barbershop?
Now being in the business, I understand why they do that. But when you're new and you don't know this is what your life is gonna be, it's a big commitment.
Got you.
So it's really discouraging. But the way Frank did it, he gave a handshake.
Okay.
He said, when you want to leave, you can leave. When you want to stay, you can stay. But this is how I operate. And he was just on some man principles, and I really appreciate him for that because I wasn't pressured to be there. I wanted to be there. And so. And,
that's a gem, though. That's a lesson, bro.
So when that happened, he charged me rent about a week, and first 4 or 5 months, I was spinning in the chair. I had no clients. I had a couple, and this is where I go back to your friends and family ain't your clients. it's one thing when they do it in the garage on a discount, and then when you're offering the service
Yep.
at a place of business, you lose some clients.
Yep.
'Cause, you know, friends would be like, if I'm gonna pay that, I'm gonna go to the best guy.
Yeah.
And I ain't mad at it.
Yeah.
You know, I just, you know, I gotta work.
Yep.
You know, it's time to work. So for 4 months, I was just spinning in a chair. And Frank used to always tell me, man, it's gonna be like, he forewarned me. He said, it's gonna be like this, but if you put your head down and just go to work and watch us cut, you know, I had to tuck my tail and be humble, and I'd watch Frank cut for several days. You know? And then we had another cat named Oda, African dude, they used to cut, and he was heavy with the guards. Frank was clipper over comb. Oda was heavy with the guards. And I literally watched them for 4 months. I would just sit. No matter how much my ego was, I would just sit and watch. And like around the 4th, 5th month, you know, it's consistency. You know, like I got better and I was learning. I started getting my practice up. Then the clientele started rolling in. And Frank ended up opening up a second shop. He left. And when he left, he let me manage his shop on 18th and Jackson.
Wow.
So,
okay.
like, I don't think he knows it, but he kind of gave me the entrepreneur spirit, because I'm closing, opening, managing, taking up care of orders. I pretty much felt like I owned the shop.
Yeah.
And by the 3rd year of just running the shop by myself, I was just like, let me buy this shop.
Yeah.
You know, and I was telling Frank what the numbers might be like, and he gave me a number, and I tried my best to execute, but it was a little too high, and I was like, man, this ain't the situation for me. But it was always in my mind to get it. Yeah. And then my other shop that I am in right now, that opened up during the perfect storm. COVID was a blessing. It was probably like the best years of my life, because opportunities opened up. And I fell into that. And even as, you know, when you leave a barbershop, the owner of the barbershop feels some type of way when you leave, you know. But Frank came in, blessed my new shop, asked me what I needed, contractors and all that. He's just overall just a good guy, you know, like.
No, I'm glad you're touching on that aspect, because I think for some people it just seems so simple on the outside looking in. They're like, oh, okay, he worked here, and now he's like, I'm gonna go do my own thing. And I'm glad that you're giving the description and the detail in terms of just not only being there and then transitioning, but the relationship aspect of it, right? And why it's important to build relationships with those that you're working with, and then even being humbled, right? When I feel like when you go into like new spaces within your industry or whatever you're trying to pursue, sometimes what's working for you here ain't gonna work for you over there. Nah. You know what I mean? And it still works, but it just won't work the way it worked over here. And it's like you have to kind of come in with a clean slate. So I like that.
So what was that feeling like when you finally got your own shop, your own space?
It doesn't hit you until like, I don't know, I think like 3 months in, after I paid a couple, you know, rent situations, I was like, okay, this is real. This is it, you know. And it's different. You know? So, you know, I think like 3rd month out, I was like, man, this is me. You know, felt good.
Yo, I'm also curious too. What would you say are some of the biggest misconceptions when it comes to being your own boss? Like that people just don't really know about, but they need to know about before they get into this space.
It's good for the accolades. Like, it's good just to say you're a business owner. Like, I still have a hard time saying that I own a business, you know? But when something goes wrong, you're that guy. There's no, Frank gonna come in and fix this. Or, you know, you're the last line of defense. Like, if you don't fix it, it don't get fixed. And it's just, I never saw the overhead, you know? I always just saw me cutting, lock the door, turn off the lights, and leave, you know, for like years, you know? Now it's like the plumbing go bad, the boiler go bad, there's a fuse out. I could go on for days, but if every little thing is you, and you can't just stack, you got to like save for situations, whereas the other way, it's all money in, you know? So, and it's like you're in first and you're out last. You can't just midday pop out. You know, like it's like you're the face. You know, like the other people that work for you per se, they can leave whenever they want, whatever. But you're the guy that has to be there. It's just different when you got that type of responsibility over your head.
Yeah, but I also feel like it may put you in more situations to become more solution, like a solution type of
be a problem
solver, right? Where once maybe at one point you weren't, right? So one thing I've learned is like, and this isn't even in business, this is in general. Like I feel like any obstacles are really just opportunities, right? But you got to view it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
any sort of resistance or obstacles, you got to view it as an opportunity. And it may not be easy at first, but eventually you'll start to see like, oh, okay, this is opportunity to fold or opportunity to learn. And I think that's dope.
I tell people it's I always harp on execution. You know, when I'm at work, a lot of people share their dreams with me, their aspirations, their goals, or whatever. And I always tell everybody, there's no such thing as a bad dream. The only difference between your dream and somebody else's dream is they execute it. And
yeah, that's real.
And you don't. And a lot of people, they don't see a full cycle of a mission. Some start, some go halfway, some give up. They don't really complete the whole cycle. And when you complete the whole cycle, your next venture or your next opportunity, you understand patience for it. Whereas one person just starts a lot of things that don't finish. So I always tell people, you got to complete one cycle, no matter how big or small it is, so you can see the complete, like rotation of it. And then everything else become easy. Because I finished like college or high school or barbering, like I see a cycle. And so now when I start merch or I start a business venture or whatever, it's like I understand patience. I understand like this is part of it.
It all transfers.
Where people will give up. Like that's why I always tell people, you just got to finish one thing, and once you finish it, all the other things will fall in line.
That's real. That's so real. And it's also like being present. Yeah, you gotta be present in the moment you're in.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah, damn, that's crazy. I was gonna bring that up too, like how you went from barbering to opening up merch to trying to drop content, dropping content. Like like how do you balance all that stuff?
I mean, you really got to have passion for it. You got to have interest in what you do. Like I tell people, I really don't work. I love what I do. The next man might not, this is just their stepping stone to the next big thing that they got. But I really love what I do. I'll be pumped to go to work.
Yep.
I don't take new clients. I don't really take walk-ins. I built my clientele base to where it's familiar faces. And it's a catch-up with friends and family and, new referrals that are still in the ecosystem I cut in, know? So it's just like I come into work like 9 or 10 and I look up, it's like 4.
Yeah.
I don't take no lunch breaks.
Yeah.
I cut all the way through.
Yeah.
And I'm just blessed to do something I love. Like even if I hit for $1 million today, like I'll still be cutting.
Yeah.
I might complain, I ain't gonna cut no more, but I love the feeling of community that barbering is giving me.
That's
it's
real.
Like, it's like I remember when I was in high school, my counselor used to say, so what do you want to do? What's your career? And I used to be like, I want to help people. Some bogus shit. Yeah. Really, I just want the bag.
Yeah.
But, like, I want to help people.
I want to help people.
I want to be like a counselor or something.
Yeah.
They're looking at me like, this is bogus. But it was.
I'm counseling you, bro.
But I landed in a field where I really do counsel and I get my money, and it's just I gain the network. It's crazy the people I cut. I think I have, every barber says they got the best clientele, but I think my clientele is hands down like one of the best. Long story short, my mom was in the hospital. She had long-term COVID, and I think they said she had a aneurysm potentially in her brain, and she needed brain surgery. But, I'm not really informed in the medical world. I don't know how to do the deductive reasoning and research. It's like, man, if you got to do it, you got to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not knowing. Yeah. I have a client by the name Clifford. He's a surgeon at Swedish. Providence. He's a surgeon at Providence. He saw my name on the emergency contact on the board, and he was like double checking, and he was like, "Oh, that's you," and he hit me up. He said, "Is your mom all right?" I'm just thinking like, a guy that just checks up, because I told my mom was going through something. He was like, "Man, she's on the list of patients." I was like, "Yeah, man, she went in there." He's like, "How come you didn't tell me? I work here." People tell you, you're not gonna go fact check. He tells me he's a black surgeon. I'm like, that's what's up. I'm not gonna.
Yeah. There's no follow up.
So he was like, man, I'm gonna look into it. And he went in and looked into it and realized that my mom didn't need the surgery. And really saved her from a lot of things,
Wow.
you know, and it's just like,
That's a blessing, bro.
it's
For
crazy.
real.
That's
you
a
know?
blessing.
So you don't know who you're going to meet in this industry. You don't know what type of network you're going to have. So he really just saved my mom from some crazy surgery she didn't really need. And I was telling my mom, and she was just grateful.
See,
you
that's
know?
the intangible shit that
Yeah.
like you'll never see. Nobody will see.
You know,
But
so-
like that's what keeps you going to work sometimes. People don't, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
sometimes people only see the thing, right? That you do, the craft and how it's done and what you can gain from it. But they don't know what may be keeping people going back and continuously doing it after they've already attained some of those things, right?
Bro, it's
And
opened up crazy doors.
That's so dope, bro.
It's put me in rooms and places and people I shouldn't be with, you know? So it's just, I don't know. I think it's a privilege to cut hair and share your life with other people, and you know, vice versa, and they teach you shit too.
You got to be open. You got to be open for it, bro. And I'm also curious too. Staying on kind of the power of the client and barber relationship.
Yeah.
I think that's super powerful. I guess for younger barbers who are coming up, like, was that something you always kept at the forefront, or were you more so focused on like, okay, how can I make money from this? And then you eventually realize, oh, I got to be a people person. Like, I got to be able to, like, be a you know, someone who can keep a client, right? Keep a client happy, not just buy haircuts.
I think when everybody starts, it's, you know, clearly you want to get better in the craft.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, I got to get this bag.
Yep.
So young barbers, when they come in, they want a revolving door. It's good, but you don't know when you lose a client.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if your numbers are getting smaller or getting bigger, you know, and there's no accountability on your half because it's always a new face, you know. So that's why I try to keep my clients, and I try to, like, you know, have them coming back, you know, like I don't be in no rush to get like new clients. I want to keep the ones that I have and gain new ones through referrals. I think that's just a better, healthy business system for me. I mean, to each is different, but to me, it's like, I want to know your life story. I want to know your growth, your pains. I want to, like, it's more than a cut. Like, I think you get to a level where you can cut good, and it's like, you can go from, you know, sand to water, and then after that, what are you gonna do? You know, like, you can't blend that much better. You know, so and not everybody wants the best cut. We all do from time to time, but for some people, it's consistency. So some people, it's being reliable, being available. Like, there's 1,000 reasons why people will come to you. It's not always the best haircut. Some of the best people in this industry, as far as like top earners, they're not the best haircutters. They've understand business. They understand how to be available and how to be present, how to, you know, relate to their clientele. And you can't be an antisocial barber. It just doesn't work. I've seen those. I know a guy that cuts really well, but he don't communicate. He don't articulate. So he's kind of capped off at the 50K, 40K mark because he don't want to, you know, like, some people, like I said, some people are not here for the best haircut.
That's real.
Some people come to you because they literally live across the street.
Yeah.
You know, like,
no, I've had that experience one time. This is when I had hair, but anyway, no, sorry. but like my barber was out of town or some shit, and I was like, yo, let me go. I need one right now. So I just went to a random shop, and dude was in the chair. I was like, cool, whatever, bro. Just, you know, and I wasn't really so much concerned about the cut because I was like, either way, it ain't gonna be like homie. You know what I'm saying, my guy.
You built a relationship.
But the dude was just like non-communicating, bro, like at all. You know what I mean? And I felt like, I know what you mean by that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like anybody who's ever been in a barbershop knows what that feels like sometimes.
As the years go by, I focus on customer service. Like, if I feel like you're not satisfied, or if I feel like I ain't hit what I need to hit, I'm happy to let you leave without paying. I'd probably encourage it for you not to pay. It's not, because it's not about the money at the end of the day. You know, I was supposed to provide a service. Every cut should feel like a wedding cut. You know, like, if I don't deliver or on what you said, then man, it's on the house. Because it's like, you could cut 1,000,000 great haircuts, right? It only takes one bad review to destroy your empire. You know?
That's real.
And you can't, as a new barber, you're not gonna win every time. You know, we could blame it to an off day, but that's where the relationships come in, and you know, all of that, and it's like being accountable. You know,
that's so real, bro.
What are like some parts of the game that like the average person might not know? Like when you're talking about when you were in Frank's shop, it was like booth rent, contracts, all that. Like this is This
I didn't
news
know.
to us. You know what I mean?
I thought it was like, yo, we need a slot to fill. But like, can you explain the process of like maybe a barber trying to get into a shop and like,
or just in general?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So the way it works is, every business owner runs their module the way they want. I've kind of adopted the Frank policy. I don't do contracts. Like them, if they don't want to be here, I don't want them here because it's my business. If you're not happy to be here, why would I want a disgruntled employee?
That's real.
So for me, I go week to week, and if, at any point in time you want to leave, the door is there for you. You could bounce out, but the way in the industry how it goes is people have on a contract. It's usually 6 months to a year, just like a lease, like an apartment lease. Yeah. And if you leave, there's penalties to it. You might have to pay out or whatever. Some people charge by the day. Some people charge by the week. Some people, like if you're in a real big salon, they'll charge by the month. Mm-hmm. And then certain spots have like health packages, like Great Clips or Masters or you know all these franchises. They give you like health benefits and stuff. Mm-hmm. So new barbers usually go over there and start off and get their practice. Yeah. And then they'll go to like a barbershop or whatever. But yeah, there's booth rent. Yeah. It's pretty much. So when I first, because I don't know the full ins and outs, because I started with Frank, and Frank just, when I walked in, he was just like, "This is your rate for the week. Yeah. This is what you're gonna pay." Yeah. And every Saturday I paid him. Yeah. And then I came back, and it's like an apartment, you know. So like some people, like there was like disgruntles in the shop where people go on vacation and be like, "I wasn't there 4 days out of this week, should I still pay?" Yeah. Frank was a good dude. Yeah. Frank would be like, "Yeah, just, pay me what you got." He's a religious dude, and it's cool. But on a business side, it's like your apartment that you sleep in. Yeah. You go and kick it at your homie's house and sleep for 3 days. Yeah. It doesn't get prorated. You got to pay it. Yeah. Bills have to still get paid. Yeah. So, when I took trips and I left the shop, whatever, I always pay Frank, regardless if I was there or not, and it just gave me good work ethic. So like now I'm at my shop, I still have that same mindset. Yeah.
That's dope, man. And I think, and I'm glad you asked that, because I think it's just in general, any industry you want to get into, man, like anything, you're going to be fascinated at first by it. Right, like you might see like you said, you might see someone doing it, and you're gonna get fascinated by it. But you also got to be willing and open to just go through whatever you got to go through to learn. But it also, like you said, it weeds you out. If you truly enjoy it, you truly love it.
Turnover rate is high. Yeah, there's a lot of accountability in this industry. Yeah, it's not built for the faint. When your friends tell you, or people tell you, you're just not that guy. Yeah, you gotta stomach it. Yeah, you gotta. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get you next time. Yeah.
Yeah. But you are that guy, obviously. But part of being that guy is working hard to kind of create a lifestyle and a routine that fits your life and what you want to accomplish, right? Because if that's not the only thing you may want to do, right? Yeah, and so opening up other avenues and ways that you can kind of put your brain power into, right? We did talk about in the intro. You launched creative content platform and brand known as Whips N Cutz. Yep. Could you talk about that? I know you got some of your team in here too, but did you guys want to like touch on that and kind of explain the birth of that? I was curious about that. How that came about.
Yeah, do you want them to come up here?
Yeah, you can bring them up here too.
Oh yeah,
come on, man.
Before we bring cop the merch too.
Yeah, we got.
But Whips N Cutz started from a need for representing us. Mo.
Yeah. What's up, Momo? Introduce yourself in the mic, man. Who we got here?
I'm a little awkward, but my name is Momo. This is my guy Fasil. We've been working together on Whips N Cutz for a long time, and it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, man. Shout out to you guys, man. But so if when you guys want to just kind of explain, like, I guess the vision behind the brand and what people can expect from it.
You want me to shoot for it? You got it.
You got it.
Yeah, you can talk to the mic.
So Whips N Cutz came from just the need to do something more outside of cutting hair, you know, and we. Like me being in the shop, I hear a lot of success stories, but they don't get voiced. You don't see it. It's not relevant. And I always tell Momo, I was like, man, we're walking around legends, and nobody's really portraying them or giving them the opportunity to speak on it. And when they do speak on it, it's like they're already successful and they don't really talk about the grit. You know, it's like some guy opens up a restaurant, we're happy for him. You know, the first questions we ask him is, how'd you choose your ingredients? It's I don't want to hear how you chose
how much money you making.
You know, like, it's like the little steps, you know, like what was it, you know? And so when we started Whips N Cutz, it was just like I want to hear the footsteps, you know, I want to hear the struggle to your win, you know, from every angle, you know. And so we interviewed a couple people. Our first interview was a guy named Phil Gergish.
We had Gergish on the show. He's UpNUp alum.
You know,
the show.
And everybody knows him is for being a boater comedian and all that, but there's more to him, you know. And that's what we executed on that interview, and what grooming is like for him, you know, because we have a cut platform on top of it.
Okay.
And we always ask the guests what grooming means to them or what grooming looks like to them. And when they remember their first haircut and stuff like that. And through that, merch was birthed. Whips N Cutz merch.
Yes, sir, man. I see it right there, man. It's all over here, man.
We're binging out. So, you know, and that's the entrepreneur spirit just happened, and it's just we just wanted to share stories. I feel like black stories are not shared as they should be. You know?
For sure.
One time they're shared is we're on the news, and it's not for the best things, you know. So I just wanted to show wins in the community. I don't care what you're doing. You know, if you're shooting, I want to be there to give you a voice. How little or big my reach is. Just let it be out there. If I can catch one person, then maybe. You know?
No, that's real, bro. I'm always pushing people to like just build whatever platforms they want to build. We live in a day and age where it's like, yo, whatever you truly want to see in the world, you can bring it to life. You can bring it to the people, right?
Most definitely.
And your people. And I'm glad that you touched on being a barber, bro. Like, you guys have conversations and they're private, right? It's all private, and obviously for obvious reasons, but you do have access to understanding kind of like vulnerability and men opening up and sharing things about their journeys that, you know, maybe they don't share with nobody else. Does that come with a responsibility though? Do you feel a responsibility when you show up like, okay, I don't know what I'm about to get today, instead of just showing up like, yo, let me give that cut? Like, did you have to mature into that and grow into that type of person, that counseling type of role?
When I first came in, I felt like I had to be a problem solver. So you tell me your problem, and then I try to go fix it. Then I realized you can't fix people's problems because the decisions that they make are supposed to be what's best for them. So when I give you a decision, that's what's best for me. So I could deal with those consequences because those are my decisions, but you can't. You're taking an L. And so what I started doing is I just started listening. People would vent and I would listen. And if anything, I'd ask a question revolving around it on how they felt. And they, at the end of the haircut, they're just like, wow, you're dope. But really, they just needed to vent.
People need to be heard. They want to be heard.
They just want to vent. And so now my counseling is I let them vent. And if they ask me for a solution, I'll give them my solution. But it won't particularly be their solution. But people just want to vent, you know, and that's just, I just give them a space to vent or take a break. They'll have a rough week with their lady, or they might be getting fired and they sense it, you know, like, and they just, you know, we'll bump music, we'll chill, like, you dictate it, you know. It's your time. And that's why I like when barbershops don't have 17 people in there. And there's just no traffic. You know? Like, in my spot, there'll probably be one other person, but, you know, you might cross paths when you leave. But for the most part, we dictate the music, we dictate the conversation, we network, and it's just like, I'll cut you, and then I'll cut him a couple hours later, and you guys have an interest in radio or personality. I'm like, you know what? You should talk to Erm. He's off that. And, you know, there's a lot of backdoor deals that happen just off of intros. And I think barbers are clutch when it comes to that. You know? I think as a barber, you should be listening and be an intentional person with your clients, because you could possibly bless them. You know?
I love that, bro. I love that, bro. And the experience you're creating for your client is important too. Definitely, bro.
And it's also like, another thing is with the introducing people, it's like every business idea I do or every venture I do as a group thing. There's never where I come out and I'm the main dog. There's there's that quote, you know, you can go quick alone or you can go far with a group.
Yeah.
I believe in that with investments, with everything. Like, I got my hands in everything I can get my hands in if it's a group effort. Solo efforts are hard because, you know, when it's just yourself, it's like, you're not going to push that last rep. You're not going to, you know, you might take an off day. But when there's somebody next to you, now you're held accountable.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. And you also got to learn you're not good at everything.
You're not. There's certain strengths, you know?
Yeah. No, that's dope, man. Yeah. That's dope.
No, I'm starting to learn that too, bro, because I feel like back in the day a little bit, it was like, oh, get it on your own.
It's
type.
great.
Yeah,
Sounds
it's cool.
good.
It sounds good, you know, but then now it's like you got to work with a team, you know?
Yeah, a 10-year project could be a 2-year project if you got a team.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, for me, I always tell people, if we're in a vehicle, I don't mind being a passenger. I don't mind being in the back. As long as this vehicle's moving, I'm with it. You know, like, you know, it's ego and pride. You know, it'll get the best of you, you know, so.
Yeah.
I just want to be in a vehicle that's rolling, you know.
I feel you. It's like if you're trying to drive from here to New York, easier with like 4 people with you. Everybody rotates, you know, but
the car
you can't
will
do it
get
alone.
there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
definitely, man. Definitely, bro. Now, I am curious. Obviously, you got a lot of things that you're working on, right?
Yeah.
You've worked hard, tirelessly to get to a point where you're able to kind of dictate where you want to place your energy and your time, right? But what do you see for the future? Like, what is your outlook for the future? Like, are there things that you're kind of consciously looking at that you're like, yo, okay, I want to work on this. Maybe it might be the near future or the, you know, long term. Are those things already there, or you still working on those?
I mean, we got a lot of things in play right now. Besides haircutting, we moved on to merch. We moved into a groom line of cosmetics with a beard line, curl treatment, face scrubs, derma rollers with oils infused in them. We're trying to start a fulfillment center in Atlanta. We got a P2P crypto trading investment platform with Mango with Mo.
Okay. Do you want to touch on that a little bit?
Oh yeah, go ahead, champ.
Yeah.
Essentially, the way Mango came to be birthed was like
You can talk to the mic. Talk to the mic. Yeah.
Just between me and Fasil and just all of the homies, we're consistently talking about investing, sharing ideas on what to invest in, and we've been doing it for a long time. And then now you have friends and family reaching out to you, and it's not an easy game. You know, you get burned a lot of the times. You really have to have some diamond hands. But it got really frustrating, and, you know, I've been in tech for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I think, like, I remember the conversation we had. He was like, you know what, man, you should probably look into entrepreneurship. Like, you know, after, like, 2 years at, like, Stripe, I finally said, I was like, damn, he was right the whole time. I was like, I should be doing my own thing.
Yeah.
And put a team together, and, you know, just like on Whips N Cutz, all of our skills complemented each other.
Yeah.
So we're in the process of building a creator-to-follower platform. We were able to fundraise.
Okay.
And the whole goal here is, like, you know, Coinbase, Mango, nobody can really, like, push you to buy crypto.
Yeah.
It's usually the people that you trust.
Yeah.
So we want to enable, like, a platform that allows you to do that. And it's kind of like, you know, rather than being, like, individualistic in your investing, you go further as a group. So
yeah. Kind of like allowing the community aspect to be entered into that digital currency space, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's dope, man.
Thanks, man. It
Look
was
at y'all,
inspired
man.
by WNC.
Yeah, man. Look at that, man.
What was that he told me? He's like, keep busy all the time because, you know, keeps your mind sharp.
Yeah, hell yeah, definitely, man. Man, this is amazing. Now, before we do ask this question, I know you're gonna cut me off. I already know. I seen it in your eyes, bro.
So,
but where can people find you and I guess connect with not only Whips N Cutz and the merch, but Daymakers and you know, follow you on social media and that whole thing?
I mean, I'm not hard to get a hold of. It's you know, Daymakers on IG, literally just Daymakers. We'll be having not Shopify. We'll have a Shopify for our merch. We've been exclusive up until this point. We've only tried to sell like 100 items at a time.
Yeah.
I think now we've hit a big distributor where we can offer Daymakers, Whips N Cutz, all the merch from tech to jackets. Like we built up a roster of clothes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
We were on the, you know, community and keep it exclusive, but it's just, you know, every time we sell out, you know, I always get that you ain't have one more left for me, or you ain't, because in the beginning I didn't think people were gonna support the way they support. You know, Seattle got a dark cloud over itself as far as support, but I think it's changing. I think people are actually shooting. It's like the support is immense, you know, and I used to think it was just because I know a lot of people, but as I sit and listen to everybody sits in the chair, people are genuinely looking to support for people. You know, it's like, I think that stereotype is getting beat down.
Yeah,
you know? So,
definitely. I agree with that, 100%.
So I think, you know, shout out to Seattle for turning around.
Yes, sir, man. And it's only going to continue getting better.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Now, we do ask this question with all our guests, but before we ask that question, I did kind of want to take it. I wanted to get your perspective. If you can look back, right, on young Fasil, who's in that garage, just cutting night and day, right? Like, what is something you would tell him that you wish he would have known, knowing with all that you know right now?
As far as like for skill set or just in general?
Just in general. Like, what would you say? What would today 2022 Fasil tell that guy?
Don't stop. I mean, it sounds basic and simple, but literally don't stop, because criticism, jealousy, hate, like, you know, all the negative emotions, they'll cripple people, you know. But if you're in this industry where you serve people and you're around people, you can't let politics phase you. You can't let drama phase you. Even when you're hurt, you gotta suck it up. And it's messed up, but as a barber, you're there to console people. You're there to help. If you start putting out your views and your thoughts and ideas into the world, you'll offend somebody, even if you mean well. You know, so I always tell people, just don't give up, don't stop, just keep going, because it's a numbers game. Yeah. By the time you get to your thousands cut, you're that guy. Yeah. You know, but a lot of people don't make it to that cut. Yeah. You know, so it's just don't stop. There might be breaks in between, but don't stop.
Hell yeah. Can't stop, won't stop too. Yeah. I love that, bro.
For real.
That's big, bro. Now, like I said, we always ask our guests this question, and this has been very this has just been a very informative, bro, and uplifting episode. I think a lot of people can definitely take away a lot from this, right, for many different reasons. But if you can, my brother, if you can, what is one word to describe what keeps you on the up and up, and why?
Execution.
Matter of fact, both of y'all can answer this question. Yeah, and you can talk it to them.
For me, it's execution. Like I said, you could tell me ambitions and goals and dreams, but if you don't execute, it's getting buried with the rest of the dreams and thoughts. You know? So show me execution, and man, that's where I'm with it.
I like that. Mama, what you got?
I think for me, it's like passion, you know? I think like passion and execution work well together, and it's just like consistently having the passion and keeping yourself motivated and inspiring others goes a long way.
Hell yeah. Okay. Execution, passion. I love it, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yo, man, this has been, like I said, this has been very uplifting, man, inspiring, man. And I think, again, I'm proud of you, bro. We're all everybody here is proud of you, and you know, I think you got support with us here at the Up and Up, and we wish you much success moving forward, bro. You know what I mean? We're all only just getting started, so there's so much more ahead. Man.
We're gonna have part 2 to this too for Mango. So.
Oh yeah.
You guys will be back for that too.
Come on, man. You just planted the seed for the Mango. Yep. But nah, man. We appreciate y'all brothers for being here, man.
Sure.
Again, keep pouring out, keep building, keep inspiring. You never know who's watching and needs to see what you guys are doing. Yeah. And yeah, man. With that being said, I think it's safe to say, man, Fasil, Momo, Daymakers, Whips N Cutz, and the entire team are officially members of the Up and Up.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. Also, wanted to give a shout out to Biniam behind the camera.
Hey, shout out to Biniam, man. Actually, matter of fact, shout out to the clothing brand too, man. byvisuals.com, byvisuals.com. Make sure you go cop that. But yeah, man, this has been a great one, man.
All right, appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you. Yo, what up? It's Rubino.
And this is DJ Erm.
We hope you enjoyed that episode and that now you have a better understanding of what it means to live life on the up and up.
Thanks for listening, and until the next one,
keep it on the up and up.